Hello, so today's topic is child labor laws in India. We shall be discussing two topics together, combining both together. First is that we have to discuss the child labor laws in India, but the main question arises is that it's a legal question. Can children work in family owned occupation, family run businesses, family enterprises? So see, India has a long tradition of family run businesses, from small group stores to handicraft units to agriculture activities to home based enterprises. And we have seen that family members support each other on their livelihoods. But the main question arises, can children assist their family members in family run enterprises? We have seen that children help their parents in household chores, domestic chores at homes, and the children do help their parents after school at the small shops like stationery, retail shops, general provision stores for a short period of time after school. They help parents in learning. Actually, they help parents during vacation, and with that they also learn the family traditional business skills that is passed down through generation. But a legal question arises that can children help in family, assist the family members in family owned occupation, family run businesses, family enterprises? Though the answer is not a simple yes and not a simple no. Actually the India's child labor law prohibits the employment of children since 2016. It is that there was an amendment in 2016 that adopted a broader prohibition where the child labor is prohibited of children. But there is a limited exception that children can assist the family members in family business enterprises in a specific condition, and this exception has generated a long significant discussion among the child right activists, employers, parents, courts, and lawmakers. Now the lawmaker seeks to make a careful strides to make a careful balance between protecting the children from exploitation and with the same time recognizing the realities of family owned occupation. So the lawmakers prioritize the education, health, overall development, safety, mental well-being and physical well-being of the children. Now what is child labor? Child labor, according to the Indian child labor laws, is the activities or the work that is performed by children that negatively affects the education of children, health of children, mental and physical well-being of children, safety of children and overall development of children. Now what is considered to be illegal child labor? When it happens, actually every work that is performed by a children is not illegal child labor. Like helping parents at home in household chores is not child labor. Assisting family owned small shop or small store after school for 1 or 2 hours is not a child labor. Participating in vocational activities not a child labor, and learning the family traditional business skill is not a child labor. But the real concern arises when the work performed by the children prevents the school attendance, becomes a primary occupation of children, results in economic exploitation, and child has to perform work in hazardous conditions, unsafe workplaces, hazardous activities, and there is physical abuse, and that affects there is a psychological harm causing to the child by that work, and there is economic exploitation, and it affects the health of child, so and results into overall exploitation. So that is a child labor. And now the main objective of child labor law is not just to prevent the child from working, but to ensure that the childhood education and development is protected. Now the constitutional protection against child labor. Now India's constitution provides the strong safeguards for children, that is Article 21A, that provides free and compulsory education for the children between the age of 6 to 14. That is, every child has it is a fundamental right of child to receive basic education. Article 24 prohibits child employment in hazardous activities occupation. Like Article 24 makes a provision whether the child employment, the child below age of 14 cannot be employed in mines, factories, hazardous occupation and dangerous industries, and Article 39 subclause E and Article 39 subclause F. That these are the directive principles of that directive principles. These directive principles ensures that state has to see that the youth is getting the opportunity to develop in the condition of freedom and dignity. Childhood is protected against exploitation, and it has these directive principles ensure that state is looking into that the child does not has to work in such conditions, hazardous conditions due to economic necessity, or doing such work that is not appropriate for that child due to economic necessity. And Article 45, this provision encourages early childhood care and educational opportunities. Now, the main law that is governing the child labor laws in India is Child and Adolescent Act 1986. Now, this act was amended in 2016 to strengthen the child protection measures. Like, first of all, there are two sections. What is a child according to law? Child is a person who is below age of 14 is considered child. And what is adolescent? Adolescent is a person who is the person between 14 to 18 years is considered as adolescent. Now these two groups, they both the two different legal sets apply to these two different groups. Now overall, the child employment is prohibited since 2016. There was, because of this amendment, there came a major change. Previously, it was that the child labor was prohibited in hazardous activities, occupation and hazardous industries. But after this amendment in 2016, it has adopted a broader prohibition that you cannot hire any child in any kind of occupation, profession or any kind of activities. Child labor is, the child employment is absolutely prohibited. But there is a certain specific exception that we will be discussing ahead.